Now, following the destruction left behind by Hurricane Dorian, a Bahamian coastal engineer says climate change can't be denied. Instead of being inactive, he is calling on stakeholders to get the job done, taking action before it's too late. Cleopatra Murphy has that.
53 people are confirmed dead. 692 that were missing have been found, and 608 remain missing 3 weeks after Hurricane Dorian, a storm of unprecedented proportions, pounded Grand Bahama and Abaco. The deadly hurricane packed sustained winds of 185 miles per hour and gusts of 200 miles an hour. Storms are progressively getting worse, and describing it as a war on weather, coastal engineer Carlos Palacios says the country has to plan intentionally to respond to the climate crisis. He says protecting the country against natural disasters requires short to long-term solutions.
In terms of the short term, making sure that we do vulnerability studies, right? So what that actually means is we have a lot of infrastructure, whether it's roads, whether it's beaches, whether it's different types of clinics and those types of structures, and making sure that whatever is the weakest link is identified. Because we can have a wonderfully built hospital, for example, but if the road that the persons need to take to get to the hospital is blocked because it's too low, then it's still a bottleneck in the system.
He says some parts of the country may require restrictive building rights, like Florida, that has the coastal construction control line.
If we establish that, and we have the in-house expertise that can do that within the country, that determines, for example, flood maps for our country, inundation maps. So we know if we're going to have 5 or 10 feet of storm surge, what type of structures do we need to build to withstand that? Those ones that are in these vulnerable areas or out, like I said, seaward of that line, will need to follow certain strict rules.
Palacios suggests tax breaks or a trade program to encourage communities to move to higher ground. With estimates of Hurricane Dorian's damage as much as $7 billion, and as the frequency of powerful storms increase, Palacios says the impact of hurricanes rank among the most significant challenges facing the Bahamas.
This is literally the biggest, probably national issue that we will face in our lifetime in terms of the evolution of our country, in terms of our economics, in terms of our safety, in terms of our health, etc. So we have to be intentional in how we plan for that and how we rebuild. And so it really comes down to establishing a culture.
Insert. Realistically, Palacios says parts of the country will be reclaimed by the sea in this lifetime, and as a country and individuals, measures must be taken to keep people safe. Cleopatra Murphy, 7S Network News.